Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive. You've sent us a stack of source material, and our mission is really to jump in, pull out the most important, interesting insights for you. Think of it as your shortcut to knowing what's inside these specific documents. Today, we're diving into, well, a bit of a mix. Our main focus is going to be a guest post on a CoinMarketCap about Near Protocol, Near. But your source also gave us the snapshot of other articles right alongside it, which is great, actually. It gives us a fantastic window into the variety of conversations happening in crypto right now, at least according to that platform. So our mission seems pretty clear. First, what's this specific analysis actually saying about Near? And second, what does that whole list of other articles tell us about the different topics getting attention? Let's dive in.
Yeah, what's interesting here is you've got this really specific, almost granular look at one asset, and then boom, right next to it, this broad view of the market chatter. It really shows the range, doesn't it? All happening at once.
Absolutely. So let's hone in on that main source first. The guest post by someone called CoinsProbe on CoinMarketCap, noted as published just 31 minutes ago relative to when you grab the source. Quick read, 2 mins rate. And the big takeaway, the headline claim, Near Protocol, Near Air, is positioned to soar higher. And the reason they give for this pretty optimistic prediction, it's signaled by a key harmonic pattern. That seems to be the technical indicator they're, well, hanging their hat on.
Okay, so harmonic patterns. That's a specific kind of technical analysis. When an analysis points to a, quote, potential upside move based on something like that, you're looking at charting based on price movements and Fibonacci sequences, trying to predict where things might go. It's one method some traders use. And importantly, like you said, it's labeled a guest post by CoinsPro. Platforms like CoinMarketCap, they often have, staff stuff and contributions from the community. So understanding who wrote it and what kind of analysis it is helps frame it, right? This isn't like official CoinMarketCap research saying this. It's one contributor's technical take on Near at that specific moment. One data point through a very particular lens.
Right. Makes sense. So, if you're following Near this specific technical view from this source, this soar higher idea based on the key harmonic pattern, it's one piece of information now in your mix. But like we said, what makes your source material really interesting is that it didn't just give us the Near piece. You also got that list of other recent articles from the same feed. And looking at those headlines, it gives us this quick kind of unfiltered snapshot, a snapshot of all the different things people were talking about in crypto right then, according to CoinMarketCap anyway.
Yeah, it's like pulling back the curtain, isn't it, on the immediate crypto conversation. And it shows straight away it's definitely not just one single topic everyone's focused on.
Exactly. Just scanning these. Wow, it's a real mix. Okay, so meme coins are still clearly part of the conversation. There's an article here on Bonk, B-O-N-K, says it faces headwinds after 28% monthly dip. But then, classic meme coin stuff, it immediately pivots to talking about potentially high APY, that's annual percentage yield, the returns you might get, and ROI, return on investment, highlighting how, quote, fortunes shift fast. Then you completely shift gears. We've got broader market predictions. An analyst, Michael Van de Poppe, is mentioned. He's predicting an altcoin season. And his reasoning apparently is based on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin's share of the market cap and market cycles, the idea that things move in phases. And look, it's not just crypto native stuff either. Global macroeconomics are in the mix. Your source mentions a Bank of Japan decision, specifically delaying reducing its balance sheet.
Right, quantitative tightening, or rather delaying it.
Exactly. And maybe even restarting quantitative easing, QE, bumping money in. And the source connects this to expectations of an increase in, quote, risky asset values globally. Crypto often gets lumped into that category. And yeah, new projects launching, still a huge theme. Several top presale crypto in 2025 are highlighted here. BlockDAG gets mentioned specifically for, reportedly, having raised 291 Mellers already in its presale. That's a big number. Others like Dogs and Snorter get mentioned too, more for like community building and viral growth stuff. Then there's news on specific, more established tokens. Tron, signaling a 14% decline according to one headline. BlockDAG's 291 metal miner number shows up again, interesting. Alongside a little tease of an NBA deal. Wonder if that is. And here's a really specific one. Canary Capital. They're noted for setting up a Delaware trust.
Ah, Delaware trusts, common for financial structures.
Right, for a canary staked INJ ETF, an ETF, exchange traded fund. And this one seems to be about getting exposure to staking rewards from the Injective Blockchains token, INJ.
Staking, yeah, earning rewards for supporting the network.
So apparently a first step towards that kind of exposure through an ETF structure.
Looking at this whole mosaic of headlines you captured,
It paints a really vivid picture, doesn't it? The complexity of the crypto landscape right now. It tells you the conversation is definitely multifaceted. It's not just about staring at charts for one coin, like that near analysis. You've got the, let's say, high-octane world of meme coins. You've got analysts trying to predict market seasons using indicators like Bitcoin dominance. You've got the undeniable impact of big global economic decisions, like from the Bank of Japan, plus the constant churn of new projects coming through pre-sales, and very specific developments around existing tokens. And that canary capital detail, setting up a structure for a stake INJ ETF, that's quite telling. It shows traditional finance exploring these really specific yield-generating parts of crypto, like staking. But using familiar wrappers like ETFs, it really reflects an ecosystem that's, well, constantly evolving, blending technical trading, market trends, macro stuff, new tech, and even adapting old finance structures.
It really does underscore the different angles people take, doesn't it? You've got people focused laser-like on a technical pattern for near. Others are watching central banks halfway across the world. You've got traders trying to time market cycles, people hunting for the next big thing in pre-sales, and even traditional finance players figuring out how to package crypto staking into an ETF. It's just such a diverse set of approaches, all happening at the same time. So let's try and pull it all together from the source material you sent over. We started with that specific guest post analysis suggesting a potential upside for near, based purely on a technical harmonic pattern. But then the list of other articles right beside it revealed the snapshot of a much wider crypto conversation. A conversation that includes, volatile meme coins, analyst predictions on market cycles, and Bitcoin's dominance, the big shadow of global macroeconomics, a busy pre-sale market for new tokens, and specific news on established coins, even including moves by traditional finance to create things like staking ETFs.
Yeah, this deep dive essentially took your source, unpacked that specific near piece, and then zoomed out to see the rich tapestry of other topics swirling around it at that moment. And, seeing this mix raises a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about. You get information based on, say, specific chart patterns for one token. Then you see forecasts about whole market seasons, and then news about global economic policy potentially shifting the value of all risky assets. When you're faced with all these different kinds of information, these different signals, how do you personally weigh them? Which types of information, which approaches feel most relevant or, I guess, reliable to you when you're trying to make sense of this constantly shifting crypto market? Something to mull over.
Great point, and thank you for bringing us this source material for today's deep dive. We hope breaking it down this way helped give you a clearer perspective on everything that was packed inside it.